Hey, Traveler fans, are you the note taker for your Traveler game? If you're the one sitting at the table taking all of those complete notes for your table, then these are the products that you need. These are made by our friends Mystic Bull Games, and they are the Scout Captain's Rudder and the Star Traveler's Logbook. And these two books hold 26 weeks worth of journal entries as well as many other little things that will help you in your note taking, such as account ledgers. You can keep a complete track of your travelers or your ship's bank records and how much money is available. As said, there were 26 weeks worth of journals notes that can be taken, including system notes, contacts and factions, intelligence, secrets, navigational hazards, all manner of things. There are pages for patron contacts, such as what the operation for said patron was, what were the discoveries, what was the after action report done. There are things for scouts. There's survey data. There are maps that can be filled in, as well as space for planetary notes and odd findings that you find. So go over to Bull Games and get your Star Traveler's Logbook and Scout Captain's Rudder. You can go there directly by scanning the QR code on the screen or going to the link at the bottom. And as always, there will be a code at the bottom of the description in this video, and you can click on that or copy and paste it and go over that way. I'll see you in charted space. Safe travels, travelers.
Asian immigrants that had a lot of disposable income.
Yes.
And they and when they brought all the technology and all their knowledge of banking and industry, and pretty much set themselves up in a very, very tight knit community.
Yes.
So that's why I chose Marcus Chen as my name.
So what I will tell you is you're going to be in a unique position as a player, because lo and behold, and I've brought this up to these guys a couple of times, as well as the Wednesday night group, both the Wednesday and Friday night games are the same campaign.
Oh, okay.
And where we are at right now is essentially because we know it's coming. I mean, there's no reason to keep it a secret. This is the lead up and the final actions of the last few years before the outbreak of the Fifth Frontier War. And the idea in my head is that not that you're going to be joining either or necessarily military, but the overall idea is that the Wednesday night group are going to be more of a Jodani consulate-centric viewpoint, whereas the Friday night group will be more of an imperial viewpoint. And so anybody watching the YouTube videos of both campaigns, they'll get to see the whole picture of what's going on, whereas you'll have the benefit of actually taking part and playing in both. So, yeah. Now, the other side of it, you'll also get to take part in both capstone adventures, because post Fifth Frontier War, the Wednesday night group will be moving into the Ancients trilogy, and Friday night group, my final cap for the campaign is to do Singularity, which, I mean, that's going to be a massive campaign. So, yeah, we got plenty of years ahead of us of Traveler. So, I mean,
sounds fun.
Remo knows he played in my Deep Night Revelation campaign, and that had some legs. So it was like 5.5 years, something like that.
Yeah, the only thing I have that's good for shipboard is I have electronics computers too. I have electronics sensors too.
If I remember correctly,
and
sensors was where we were light.
okay, I've got sensors 2, computer 2, and medic 1. And I actually have steward 2, which means I can make beds really well. Um, but
And a mean cup of coffee.
and a mean cup of coffee. I can make great coffee. And I have gun combat 1, which is energy, and I have a laser pistol.
Excellent.
So I wear black and white, the equivalency of black and white business suits all the time.
But they're cloth armor, right?
They're cloth armor. Yeah,
Right.
I have the what is it? John Wick look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wear a suit and tie all the time.
So yeah, Mintaka and Salve are our resident computer experts. Mintaka, more or less, that's his main focus is being a computer expert, while
And yet, Salve's still better at it than me.
right, and Salve's main dig is that he's a noble, related to royalty through Regina. So
I'm known.
Yes.
I'm known as an up and coming. Well, I'm middle aged now, but I'm known in the trade world as a advocate broker,
Excellent.
and I'm also real good at getting down and dirty with like Streetwise, and I have Psychology 1, which supports my marketing skills.
You
So
also said that you rolled up with a far trader, correct?
yes, I have a far trader.
The,
It is I what I did was I created an LLC and called Chen Enterprises, and it's a brokery LLC that actually owns the ship. And I have because I did so well with creating the character, I ended up with a very, very nice pension, which basically pays for my ship.
was
It
it
makes my
was it
it makes my
was
it
it
makes my monthly payments.
was it specific on what type of far trader it was?
Yeah, it's a classic far. It could be a far trader or a free trader. It could be any kind of class of far or free trader.
Because I was going to say we could give you an Empress Morava class, which I think would probably work more in your favor as far as you being fairly wealthy. And the benefit to the group is for this. So if you the past couple of weeks I had mentioned that this particular mission that you're currently on is going to be a high payout mission, and that some of that money could be squirreled away to put a down payment on a ship. Well, this way you don't have to, and instead of tucking great sums of money away for a down payment on a mortgage, what you could do instead is use that money.
The ship is halfway paid for.
Right, but I'm talking for the entire group, because before you
Right.
showed up, the ship that they currently have been using is owned by the company, and as soon as their contract with the company is up, that ship goes away. So this way, they don't have to take a mortgage on to get a new ship. They could take that money. The group could use that money to make whatever upgrades or changes that they want to the Empress Morava. And the Empress Morava is pretty much a quintessential adventurer's ship for
The Empress
traveler.
Morava is the one with the that so it looks a little bit like the Millennium Falcon
Yes,
style.
yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
And
Then
from
that's I've always loved that ship.
Yep,
Actually.
yeah, it is my favorite ship too. And it also comes with this is nice. It has a 4-ton docking space for an air raft, which kind of solves a lot of
Yeah.
problems all in one. So So yeah, we can work towards that in the future. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and pick up with where we're at and leave the future plans to the future. Welcome to Crisis of Empire. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have taken a job with the Reidd-Valaasii. I'm going to script these names. The Reidd-Valaasii or Reidd-Valaasii Spaceship Corporation. Anyways, the corporation.
RVSC.
Yes, that one. Yes, that's the one. RVC. So the company that they work for, this Starship Corporation, they don't necessarily make new designs of starships. I mean, they're perfectly capable. But mostly what they have been focusing on is taking other designs and doing radical modifications to them. And they have, of course, numerous investors. And one of these investors is Eric Reidd-Valaasii, who is he was actually a crewman for, what's their name? McClellan Merchant Factors, and he made his fortune before retiring as the purser aboard a Leviathan-class merchant cruiser called the Amwar. And the Amwar did so well on this last run that it made that everybody got massive bonuses, and it made him moderately wealthy. Which to everybody else would just mean rich. And so he is a top investor in RVSC. And come to find out, when he retired, his nephew was just starting to look for some of their first real work. And he recommended that they take a job with McClellan and got him a berth aboard the Amwar. Well, after a while, the Amwar also got a new captain, and the reports that he got were that the crew was just not happy, which made him a little sad because he remembered his time aboard Amwar very fondly. And in 1102, all communications were lost, and the Amwar has been missing since 1102. And it's presumed all hands lost. The Scout Service did send out some ships to do a cursory search for it. They came back empty-handed. They didn't find anything. But Eric went to RVSC and pleaded his case. And so they sent you guys. And here we are. You are going out. You have taken crew positions aboard his modified A2 Far Trader that is called the Void Skipper. Of those modifications, down here in the cargo bay, it has added more fuel, and it is now capable of making 2 Jump 2 transits before it needs to completely refuel. It does have a couple of quirks, and but they're not awful. But along with Eric Reidd-Valaasii and he brought on, as far as cargo, his luggage was a lot of suits. His small domestic droid, Sydney, which its sole job is to make sure the suits stay clean. And he brought on a lot of wine and fresh food, cheeses, things like that. He is not a fan of the ever-fresh protein packets that you would usually get for starboard rations. He also had 2 other crew that he brought along. The first was Brandywine, who is a Varger, and Brandywine, or Winesats, is his actual name. Brandywine is a little bit eccentric, and he's a slob. And these are traits that he gained from working the X-boats in the Scouts. And he is actually on detached duty. The Scouts kind of put him on detached duty and put him on semi-permanent vacation until he can get his shit together. And so he hired on with Reidd-Valaasii, claiming that he would be capable of operating this ship all by himself. That turned out to be false. The other person that Eric brought along was Marianne Mshika, who his relationship with her is a little odd. At times it seems that they are very familiar. You might wonder, well, I mean, she's a lot younger than he is. Are they dating? What's going on here? And if it's ever even questioned, both of them just kind of ignore the question and change the subject. So nobody knows. She is an ex-Marine, and if you've ever met an ex-Marine, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. They're always Marines for life. That's her. And she frequently gets upset with Brandywine because Brandywine will leave bottle caps and food ration packets laying around everywhere, and she will tolerate it to a point and then blow up, get mad at him, and throw an empty bottle at him or whatever as she goes.
Oh, that's not going to do well with me because I'm obsessive compulsive when it comes to clean.
Yes. So that's the current state of crew aboard. But the ship has just about come out of jump into Berengaria. And I can show you, this is in Pax Rulin sector, I believe. There it
is. We were purchasing trade goods, right?
Yes, and yes. So, yeah, you guys are just about to come out into Berengaria, but quick rewind. What trade goods did you want to purchase?
I put a list in Discord, and I was also going to talk to our patron about getting an RTG generator if he thought that would be a good trade good, because it sounds like
yes,
that could help him influence people.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that last week.
Now, where are we buying this from?
These would be actually purchased on Pax Rulin, and it looks like all of this would be available. So before the RTG generator, that you were given 25,000 credits to make purchases. That would cover all of that. The RTG generator, whoever would like to, can make a persuade plus social check. And you can make that with a boon.
For what?
To purchase.
What are we trying to do?
Solveig's trying to talk Reidd-Valaasii into purchasing this generator, which is 200,000 credits.
What do we need the generator
I'm buying
for?
that.
What does it do?
It's going to be a trade good item. It's basically you set it down, bury it in the dirt, and it will power a small colony for a couple of years.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got broker, advocate, and persuasion.
Well, so Solveig, you said you were just going to buy it outright?
Yeah, I'm not. You'd mentioned that the patron might want to buy one as well, because it gives him leverage to negotiate, and he's looking for info.
So
I'm buying one as well.
Okay, so you're essentially, so if you want to talk to him about it, since this is Solveig's idea, Solveig, you would need to make a persuade plus social check, or you could do diplomat plus social.
Do I really care if he does it or not? I'm just thinking it's a good idea for him.
Okay, but you have to present that idea to him. And in order to present it as a good idea for him, you're going to need to make a persuade plus social or a diplomat plus social.
No problem.
Is he doing this just to make money?
Yes.
No, it's mostly...
Well, I am.
You might be, but that's not the goal of this trip. The goal of the trip is to get information on Amwar. This is not a money-making mission. It will be a money-making mission for you guys at the end of it, but that's not the goal of the mission.
At the same time, it costs us money traveling. Every time we jump, it's costing us money, and so anything we can do to defray those costs helps.
Right. Well, this trip isn't going to cost you anything because he's paying for it out of pocket. So,
don't we skim for fuel and
you can.
Yeah, we can skim for fuel, so it doesn't cost us anything.
Generally speaking, we haven't been skimming just because the rules are incredibly deadly.
Yeah, skimming for fuel is actually quite dangerous. On the routine, though, ships skim for fuel all the time, and unless something, untoward is going on, those rules only apply if something is going to happen. Now, having said that, if you're going to get hit by pirates, the two places that it's going to happen is at the 100 diameter jump limit or at the nearest gas giant for fuel. Because
very true.
Those are the two spots.
Very true.
Plus, it saves us a lot of time because we've been going to a lot of stations, and so having to travel from the station all the way to a gas giant to fuel up, that could be 3-4 days just traveling across the system to get to the free fuel.
Right.
And so it's oftentimes
a week.
So what we've been doing is buying unrefined fuel, which is much cheaper, and then refining it ourselves.
Yeah, because they can once they have the unrefined fuel, they can refine it, and our gas tank is full in one day.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds reasonable.
So yeah, you convince Eric to purchase an RTG generator as well, and so you. In stock, you have 2 of these RTG generators, assuming that Salve wanted to buy one.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, 2 of those, and plus everything else on your list.
Thank you.
Do you want me to interject my broker 3 to see if I can get a better price?
Up to you.
If you like. I'm not really good at broker.
Yeah, go ahead and make
I've got a dedicated computer that is for marketing with a Tech 15 database.
Go ahead and make
it's all set up.
Go ahead and make a broker plus intellect check.
Okay.
So that makes it a 9, right?
I don't know. I've got something else going on my screen. I can't get out of it. I can't see what I'm rolling.
In the upper right, are you looking at the chat?
Well, No, I'm looking at
So over on the right, you can see it shows rolling 2d6, 3 plus 3.
Yeah, it looks like you rolled 2 6s.
Mine's not showing that. It's blank. There's nothing there.
On the far right there's nothing there.
Yeah, far right. There's nothing there. All I've got is a picture of a ship, and I've got the dice roller on the left-hand side, and I've got the things across the bottom.
So does he need to click on the hamburger?
At the top, on the far right, do you see the little box with 3 lines?
Yes.
Click that.
Okay, I've got character sheets, provincial government.
So the first item on that top menu is the 2 chat bubbles. Click the chat, and you should see your dice rolls.
Got it. So that would be a... This is my broker plus my intelligence?
Correct.
Okay, so that would be, for me, that would be a... that'd be a 10.
Okay. So you are able to negotiate a better price.
No, I beg your pardon, it's an 11.
Even better.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, so you're able to find you're able to find these generators for 120,000 apiece.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Is he happy with that, the patron?
Yeah, he's very. I mean, he liked the idea that Salve pitched to him, and he likes the idea that that Marcus was able to get him a better deal.
Nice.
The reality with Eric is that even though, I mean, he was a purser, so he was primarily the broker for Amwar before he retired. But now that he's retired, he's got enough money. He just doesn't really concern himself with those kinds of things.
No expense.
Yes, he would have just bought it outright. But yeah, he's very happy with this. So you guys come out of Jump in Berengaria, and your data comes in. Library computer lets you know that this is a agricultural world, has a population of just over 3 million. It is pretty much the breadbasket for the local region of Pax Berlin, and it supplies food mostly for the Imperial naval bases that are in the region, of which there is the Pax Berlin naval base. Excuse me, and then there is the shipyards at Perior, and so Berengaria pretty much supplies food for both of those. Let's see, is there... Yeah, there is a destroyer-sized vessel that is Imperial destroyer that is currently on station in Berengaria, and as soon as you, not as soon, but shortly after coming out of space, and your passive sensors kind of ping out and pick up all of the ships in the region, you do pick up that there is a modular cutter that has been dispatched from the Berengaria downport and is en route, and you have been radioed that you basically they do a random inspection of one out of every so many ships that come into the system, and you were the lucky ones that came up. They are instructing you to cut your drive, keep weapons powered down, and a boarding team will be entering your main airlock shortly. This is a typical customs inspection.
Yeah, I'll radio, that's fine. Comply.
All right, so I guess I better...
What's the law level in government, just so we know what we're dealing with?
We're not hauling radioactives, so that's good.
Yes, that's a pleasant change.
Just a few.
Law level is 4.
If there's nobody on
What's the
sensors, I'll
government?
sit on sensors.
Who is this that's coming on? Just
It's Berengaria.
planetary company?
Yeah, it's Berengaria System Patrol.
Okay.
I can tell you a bit more about them.
I'll pull it up on my computer. What's the government type, and what's their history of dealing with other...
Rich, non-industrial, agricultural, more stable.
They have a Class B starport. They are about 8,000 kilometers in diameter. They're a little bit bigger than Mars.
Government, representative democracy. Okay.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, Berengaria is not a bad place.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm going to make sure my suit is in properly, my tie is properly pulled up, and
okay.
I'm just gonna sit on the sensory, say seated on the sensory display, and talk them in.
Okay, so yeah, they come in and they make a perfect dock. Who is going to meet them at the airlock?
Now I'm staying on the bridge on sensors.
Okay.
I'll greet him at the airlock.
Okay.
Why don't we send Salve since he's got social standing?
There you are. You're down in engineering.
I have really high investigation and really high deception.
That's not what's needed here.
It might be if it's an inspection.
Customs.
I do too. I mean,
very
it's
happy
not
with
needed.
us.
So the airlock, the cutter perfectly docks. They make it look simple, and four people from customs come in. The mission is led by a young girl, and I say girl specifically, Ensign Frida Tiggs. She's 19 years old. And just as soon as you see her, Remo, you're like, yep, this is her first assignment out of the Naval Academy.
God, she's just a baby.
Yes. Behind her is a much older gentleman, Chief Petty Officer Benson Emirati, and behind
the babysitter.
Yes, and behind them are two security officers armed with submachine guns, but they're keeping them down. You note that they are at the ready, and that's probably for their best interest, since boarding actions frequently go wrong.
Yeah, they don't.
Are they wearing just uniform or vac suit?
The two guards are wearing boarding vac suits, but the ensign and chief petty officer are just wearing uniforms. Their caps. And Ensign Frida is she's very polite, like to the extreme of being courteous and respectful, and she kind of asked to be taken to the bridge. And
yeah, I'll be polite and I'll escort her to the bridge.
Okay, and so Chief Petty Officer Benson wants to know if you have another crew member that can kind of show you, or you yourself can show him around the ship, and he would like to investigate or check out your cargo bay and things like that.
Well, once I bring her to the bridge, I can bring her to the cargo bay. Yeah, we can do that. Okay,
so you head on down to the cargo bay. So the bridge doors opens up, and this ensign, she comes in, and she's kind of looking over your ship's manifest and looking over your logs, and she has whoever can answer. She's kind of directing the questions towards Salve, but she's not sure who really is in charge, so she's just asking the questions abroad. She says, what is the ship's mission and destination?
You should talk to the owner.
Okay. He's in the ship's office if somebody wants to notify him of what's going on.
I'll get him on comms. He goes, sir, we have a customs group that is boarded to do a standard customs inspection. Can you please come out and greet the ensign? She wants to talk to whoever's in charge.
Okay, so he comes out. He kind of looks a little irritated that he was bothered with this. I mean, you guys were hired to crew the ship, but she comes over and shakes his hand, and she asks him again, "What is the ship's mission and destination?" And he says, "This is a search and rescue mission." And he says, "We don't have a specific destination. It really depends on where it's going to lead us." From Berengaria, he says, "I can tell you that our next stop will be Bantral." And she says, "What cargo are you carrying?" And she's already has the manifest in her hand. This is kind of a trick question. And he says, "Well, I know that we've got at least 2 RTG generators, and we have a rescue suit." And he kind of looks over to Salve and he says, "What else are we carrying?"
I get
some trade goods that'll be useful in low-tech environments.
And then she kind of directs it to everybody. She says, "How long do the crew anticipate being outside of the Imperium?"
Four jumps.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah,
4
this
jumps.
sounded indefinite.
Okay. And
it's not my place to answer, so I'm just staying on the sensors.
Okay. She says,
I'm doing my job. Yeah,
What foreign powers will be visited, and does the crew have any relationship with those powers? So this question, there are only 2 other real foreign powers to be brought up. One of them is I'm going to have to look it up because I just...
That's a weird question for a customs official. Yeah, they'd be concerned with our visit. Yeah, there, but where we go after
what
that's
we were importing and what exporting.
Well, there might be political reasons for it too in this region.
There might be, but that's not within the scope of customs usually.
So the only 2 other powers that would be in the region that you may have contact with would be the Bulgarian Sojournate and the Senless Foderate. Those 2 governments are essentially the epitome of the description of pocket empire. And the Bulgarian Sojournate specifically is kind of in a downward spiral. So I wouldn't say that they're necessarily adversarial with the Imperium, but they're also not allies. And so, I mean, Eric answers that. He's like, we may make contact with either one of these, but we don't have a relationship. And she then just point blank out, is the ship carrying any contraband?
We have weapons that would probably not be legal on the surface of your planet, but we have no intention of removing them from this ship.
She says, "Okay, excellent." And
I mean, it's personal weapons that again would stay on the ship at all times.
So she says,
"I've got a bottle of Noreen brandy, but is that illegal here?"
No, that is perfectly legal. She says, okay. I noticed coming as we made our approach to dock. What purpose is your ship armed?
The decommissioned vessel.
I kind of look at her like she's being silly. I'm like,
I'll be honest with you. We got the job, and this was the ship they provided for us to travel in. Eric.
He kind of looks at me and he says, "The Outrim Void is extremely dangerous." And he says, However, if you're talking about the missile launcher is mostly there to launch probe missiles, and it can only launch them one at a time and must be manually reloaded in order to do that. And we intend to use that in our abilities to search for the lost Amwar. And so she kind of marks that down, and she seems fairly okay with all of your answers. Meanwhile, in the cargo hold, Chief Petty Officer Benson Emerdi kind of looks around, and he's much more gruff than she is. He's not as polite, and he says, "What's your cargo?" And he's asking Remo.
What was it that you guys just? What was it that you guys just bought?
2
RTG generators.
Yep, and basic trade goods.
Yeah, so I'll basically explain what it is that we've got: the generators and the trade goods.
And he says, "What's your mission?"
Okay, I wasn't here last game, so I really have no idea.
So, I mean, it's search and rescue.
Yeah, we have a search and rescue mission. They send us down to planets. We pull people out of bad situations.
He says, "Do you have a salvage license?" Now, if you have Advocate, I'll allow you to roll Advocate plus Intellect or Education.
Yeah, I do have Advocate.
Oh,
12.
If we're doing search and rescue, we don't need a salvage license. We're not.
Well, beyond that, it doesn't matter, because outside of the Imperial border, the requirement for a salvage license is null and void. You don't need one. So you would know that.
Yeah, we pay for salvage licenses where it's legally required. We also pay salvage tax where it's legally required. Just depends planet to planet. Different things happen.
And then he in the cargo hold, he looks over, and of course there's the rescue suit that is there. The ship has one rescue suit that a couple of you have trained to operate it. And he just says, "Who is qualified to operate the rescue suit?" Now, I don't
that one. So, what does that require?
The owner of the ship.
Well,
vac suit 2 or 3? Or
yeah, there were 2 of you that decided to take training on it over the week.
Yeah, all they did.
Yeah, I still know what the requirement is.
Trying to pull it.
I've got vac suit 1. I just don't know if that's enough.
And hold on. There it goes. So here is the rescue suit. My God, roll 20 is just.
All right. Yeah, I'll say I'm qualified to wear it. I think we have several others that are qualified to wear that.
Okay.
I'm definitely not qualified.
And I'll go. Yeah, you should. Here's some of our underwater rescue, and I'll show some of us doing some scuba diving stuff.
Some of your video. This is where our drone operator got shot.
Yeah, I'll avoid that. I just show like the scuba diving underwater. It depends. They send us weird places.
So he seems pretty okay with these answers, and pretty much writes everything off, and concludes the inspection and goes back to the airlock and meets up with the ensign, and they both give you the stamp of approval or thumbprint of approval, and tell you to be careful out there and enjoy the rest of your trip to Berengaria. And they exit the airlock.
To say, if you have any friends and family that get lost on a really stupid hike, let us know.
Yes, while we're here, we might be able to help with that. And so they, of course, take off. And you are, as soon as they're gone, you get the radio message that they have cleared the ship. The Class B downport radios you and clears you for approach to Berengaria downport, and that they can that you can dock in a docking berth.
Let's do a quick sweep for bugs since they were on board.
Yes, make sure the government's not snooping on us. Gully, if you want to make a piloting plus dex check, we can get you down.
Sure, I'm going to say as soon as Eric goes back in his office, don't bother the boss.
So. Yes, right.
It's his freaking job. I mean,
yeah, I'm using the sensors to make sure we have a clear flight path to the our docking destination.
Sure, go ahead and give me an electronic sensors plus intellect or education check. And these sensors, I believe...
that would be a 12.
And these are civilian-grade sensors, so there's a -1 to the checks, making that an 11, which is still a success. And so, yeah, you see that there are other ships coming and going. Nothing too much larger than yourself. You don't see any of the large freighters. There's nothing over 1,000 tons as far as a cargo vessel in the region. And
I'll feed the flight path to the pilot.
Okay, so your data goes over to the flight console, and you are able to make your way into Berengaria. It is a very green pastoral type world.
Cool picture.
Lots of water. This is the well, here are two things I can show you. This is the system map of Berengaria, and this is the layout of all the worlds in the system. This is the world map. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of water here, a lot of green, and the starport is right there on one of the main continents. As you're coming in, you see like just acres and acres and acres and miles of miles of farms, and there is some industry on the world, but mostly it's all farms. And so Gully is able to set you down in the starport berth quite well. And
serious agro world.
Yes, that is their main thing. And so Eric comes out and comes back out of the office, and he's putting on his suit jacket, and he's attaching the cufflinks to his shirt sleeves, and he says that my goal here, he goes, really, he says the trip to Berengaria was kind of to further watch you, and we could have jumped directly to Bantral. We have that capability, but I don't like, if we can avoid it, I don't like making a deep space jump. It's safer to stop at a populated system, and so I'm going to take this opportunity to go into the local downport and try to find some decent food that we can take on our trip. And you get the immediate feeling he is like openly disgusted by what he refers to as the ration factories that churn out like the ever-fresh protein packets that you usually find. And so that's what his goal is. He says, we'll be here for a couple of days. You're free to explore Berengaria and in any way that you want. You might ask around. He says, I certainly plan to. See if anybody here has heard any word of, the Amwar coming through. It is 11:06, so it disappeared in 11:02. So some memories may be fuzzy.
I asked our boss if he wants me to look up any companies that may have very palatable alternatives to the canned rations, and instead have what would be considered gourmet ship's rations.
Just install a gourmet auto chef.
Right. Yeah. He says you can go ahead and investigate that if you want. His goal is to buy fresh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's going to go look for fresh ingredients and see what he can find.
I personally would prefer fresh myself. But,
I think most people would.
But I'm also, when I work, I kind of get focused in what I'm doing now. I just pretty much eat whatever's in front of me.
True.
You know, I get so focused on my character gets so focused on his job that sometimes he forgets to eat. He's very, very goal oriented.
So, I mean, it is only a tech level 7 world. Is there anything in particular that you are specifically looking for? Other than
I'm going to hit the brokers and see if I can get a really good deal on anything. How much cargo room do we have?
Not much, because most of that cargo space has been modified into extra fuel tanks, and so.
Oh, okay. So we have like 5 or 6 tons, or.
No, it's better than that, but not by much.
I'm just going to look for a 5-ton block then.
See if I wrote that down. Yeah, 12 tons. The ship only has 12 tons of cargo.
Okay. Do you want me to look for 10 tons, a 10-ton block of cargo, and that would be a really good buy here to take to the next planet we're going to? And I'm going to be using my broker 3 with my marketing computer.
We might want to just pick up mail. That's like
just mail. We stick with mail.
10 tons, we can get two mail.
Yeah, that's that. If you get two 510 mail packages, that's 50,000 credits right there.
Okay.
So, what about Gully? Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. Remo?
Yeah, to my knowledge, I'm pretty set. I guess I would just sort of check out it's a space starport B, right?
Yes.
And it's on planet's surface, right?
Correct. It's a downport.
Okay, it's not a high. Okay, downport. Yeah. So I think I'll be just checking out the downport.
Okay. I'm
just going to go find a nice restaurant.
It's funny that you say that, because that's exactly what I was just about to look up.
Yeah, I'm going to go find just a really nice restaurant that has a good wine list and where they've got some nice music, and just go relax. You know, until we leave.
Probably the nicest restaurant here. There are 2. There is a Planetfall Bar and Grill, which is a fairly high end. Not, I wouldn't say high end, but it's like a Black Angus kind of restaurant, steakhouse kind of thing. And the other one is the Brewhouse Tavern. They do have a Brewhouse Tavern. And you guys probably don't know what this is, but in my real life in my area, there are places called McMinimans, and they're all over the state of Oregon and I'm in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm familiar with them. They're actually really nice.
They are pretty nice. Brewhouse Tavern is very similar in that, in kind of as a McMinimans. Brewhouse Tavern's big thing is they have 2 things that they're known for. The first one being that most of the fare on their menu is locally sourced. So every brew house that you go to is theoretically a little bit different. On some worlds, it's impossible.
That sounds like where I would like to go then.
Okay.
I would definitely like to go there. I'm sure, since this is an agro world, They have some really, really good whiskeys and bourbons.
That is true. The other thing that Brewhouse is known for is they have a jar of something that is pickled, and the regulars that are there kind of try to goad the newcomers into eating or doing what they call sampling the pickles.
Something that is pickled.
Yes.
Okay, I was born and raised in the outer counties in Arkansas. so they pickle everything.
Everything.
Okay.
If it's not pickled, it's deep fried.
They don't. If they could find a rock, they would pickle it. Okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you're seeing here. Anything from eggs to local animals. Pig's feet, the whole bit.
I'm not a big. My character would not be a big fan of pickled anything.
Right. Yeah.
He's looking for an aged steak.
You can get that here.
Fish.
Yep.
Good whiskeys, bourbons, that sort of thing.
Yes, all of that is available at the brew house.
In fact, I'd be interested in finding a good local whiskey or a bourbon, and if I like it, I'll buy a case of it to take on board.
Excellent. You can buy a case. You can buy a case for 500 credits.
Oh, that's nothing.
And this is high-end stuff. What's Mintaka doing?
Is there any gambling on this planet?
Go ahead and make a streetwise plus intellect check. Yes, then it gets pickled.
Am I going to have to end up using my medic on him?
Pickled Snickers bars.
I didn't know you could pickle chocolate.
Well, if you're from Arkansas, I'm sure they'll find a way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I believe it once someone tried to pickle a Twinkie.
I have never been to Arkansas, but I will be going there next year for running the booth at TrollCon. So I will. I was
born in a place called Pulaski County, Arkansas, which is just outside of Little Rock.
Yeah, that's about where I'll be. Just outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benton, Arkansas.
That's where I was born in Pulaski County, Arkansas. I lived there until I was 8, and then I ended up traveling all over the world.
Mintaka, you do find that there are some gambling establishments, just minor. Not that it's not like a strip like Las Vegas or anything like that, but you do find some smaller gambling venues, and they're completely legal. I mean, it's only law level 4 here, so they're not they're not strict about it.
Oh, and when I go
just
out,
want to go into one of them and try my luck
pistol.
for a day, just to, since we're going to be here for a little bit, might as well have some fun.
Sure. How much are you going to bet?
Why don't you just hand them your wallet and they go for a walk?
So, Mintaka, how much you want to bet?
Let's go with solid, let's go 3,000.
Okay. Go ahead and, do you have the gamble skill?
Okay, weird. I don't, but that's literally part of my backstory is that I did gambling, so that's weird.
Yeah. Well, maybe you just weren't very good at it.
Don't know how.
So,
you know what? I got a gambling problem, but I suck at it. I'm down. Let's roll.
All right. Go ahead and make a gamble plus intellect check, and that would be at -3 because you don't have it.
You don't have a gambling problem. You gamble very well. It's just you're not good at it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, you, over the course of your time on Berengaria, you lose 3,000 credits.
I love it. Okay, cool.
What is Salve up to?
He's going to connect to the Port Authority's computer
Okay.
publicly first.
Right.
And do searches for the ship that we're looking for.
Okay. Let's.
Computer roll.
Yeah, go ahead and make a... Actually, no. Go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check.
Ooh. That's why I was doing it with the computer. I don't have investigate yet. I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Okay. Investigate intellect.
So going through the public information, you do find that one of the Amor support craft did come down and dock at Berengaria. From the date that you're seeing, it is showing that this happened 11:02. From the date that you're seeing, this would have really been from the start of the merchant mission. So Amor was on what would be called an exploratory merchant cruise. Basically, they were going out into the Outrim Void, and they were going to attempt to find new markets. And they had a definite start and stop point or time limit for their mission. But in between that, the captain was granted a 16-week window to basically take matters into his own hands if he thought that there was an additional market just around the corner. So when it would have made port at Berengaria, it would have been at the very beginning of their cruise. So you know that they at least started here.
Okay. What does our flight plan say? Is there one?
That's a very good question, and I have that. Of course, it's sideways. Their flight plan, the next stop for them would have been your next stop of Bantral.
Okay.
Back. Do so. Oh, wait, I thought I had this.
Just in the investigation to see if we can find out anything more.
You certainly could. Where and how do you want to go about your investigation?
You're going back through Port Authority, but trying to determine if they were carrying cargo, what kind of trade were they following? Was the mission profitable, essentially?
So you don't. So because the ship was lost, you don't know if it would have been profitable or not because they never made it back. However, go ahead and give me a investigate plus intellect check, and you can make that with a +1. Nice. Traveling from Berengaria to Bantral, it looks like most of their cargo their cargo hold was filled with what they purchased here, which was, of course, fresh food and some luxury foodstuffs, booze, things like that. They were also carrying a number of Let me bring up my trade sheet and I can tell you.
Because they're looking to open up trade routes, right?
Correct. So they were carrying items like refining tools,
luxury goods,
goods, or
Silk Road stuff,
home electronics, appliances, things like that.
Yeah.
That would have been. So the thing about the Outrim Void is that in the Trojan Reach has had a very tragic history. During the Second Imperium, during the Long Night, after the rule of man kind of failed. Meanwhile, we were having the Dark Age happen here in the Imperium. In the Trojan Reach, another empire had kind of risen, and they were going strong for close to 1,200 years, and that was the Empire of Sindal. And when they finally collapsed in on themselves, and through civil war and atomics and biological weapons and everything that you can throw at them, the region was pretty much decimated. And most of these worlds in the Outrim Void are either struggling to maintain whatever semblance of tech level they currently have, or they have like tech levels. They'll say, "Oh, well, we're tech level 9," but they're not. They're really tech level 6, and that tech level 9 stuff is only in the hands of the elite, and they are in a downward spiral that they will cease to exist fairly shortly. So,
Okay.
So yeah, they were carrying stuff that would be considered very much in demand, luxuries, higher tech appliances, electronics, things like that. Maybe even some automobiles. A Leviathan class merchant cruiser is a pretty big boat.
How many tons is that anyway?
It is, I can tell you.
Maybe a few thousand, right?
They are 1,800 displacement tons.
Jeez.
So they've got, I mean, honestly, their cargo hold isn't as big as you would expect, but they have They have 187 tons of just raw cargo space.
Nice.
So yeah, you know that they were. This was all stuff that they could easily offload in the hopes of making better deals.
Tank on the other side, yeah. These are all frontier worlds, right?
Yes, very much so. Like beyond frontier, more like pioneer worlds at this point.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
So, I mean, the rest of your time on Berengaria, you've learned a little bit that this is kind of the starting point of everything. Other than that, I mean, if there's nothing else that you want to really look for, we can move on. I would need Gully. I assume that you're piloting. Did you want to give me a piloting plus dex check? Excellent. So, yeah, you're cleared for takeoff, and Gully is making his way for orbit. During that time, between Berengaria and the 100 diameter jump limit, who wants to give me an astrogation plus intellect or education check?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
And finally, last but not least, actually, before I call for that, we're going to look at somebody give me a engineering power plus intellect or education. Oh, 6 will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then last but not least, make a engineering J drive check.
That was the J drive.
Oh, that was.
That was the J drive deck. Sorry.
So we have power. I mean, I've got a chip for it. I can slot it if nobody has it.
Sure, that works.
All right. What's this power?
Nice. There we go. All right. So you guys enter jump space. So, Marcus Chen, if you would like, you have a choice here. You can either take training on the rescue suit, in which case you will gain vac suit 1, or You can select a skill that you want to study, and you will gain 1 week of study period for that skill.
Well, it sounds to me like getting training on the rescue suit would be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free skill, and you'll gain it in a week.
Right. I have my own vac suit, so
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, it certainly wouldn't hurt.
So you can take.
So
you
that's
can
what
go ahead
I'll
and
do.
take vac suit 1. Everybody else, you can add a week of study period to whatever you would like. Whatever yours.
Are there any particular skills that we are short on, or that we'd have would like a backup on the ship, so I can at least get myself up to that?
I will be right back.
I'm trying to improve my investigate.
Is anybody trained in
medic or
is anybody trained in gunnery?
A weapon.
Yeah, I trained up to 1 gunnery.
Yeah, I think
was that before gunnery?
Quick here though. They have auto targeting. I don't know. I forget what the guns on this weren't too bad. What were they? Let's see.
Yeah, I just know that given my background, the ship skills are where I'm the weakest. So I'm coming from
same with me. I don't.
I come from a corporate security.
Yeah, the only ship skills.
What skill package did you take?
And sensors.
I wasn't.
Oh, shit,
I didn't know I was going to be piloter.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm glad you brought that up. I completely forgot. Marcus, and you need to do this for your. You need to do this for your Wednesday night character too. So these are the skill packages. You can pick.
I'm familiar with them.
Right. So the way that I do it is a little bit different. Rather than doing a round robin, you can pick one of these skill packages and take all of the skills on the package. However, if you already have a skill, you can't add to it. So let's say like you take the Traveler skill package, but you already have Deception 1, you wouldn't be able to get Deception 2. But Electronics 1, because those are different specialties, you could take a new specialty.
So, are you talking about outside of all the skills that I've already done by rolling my character up?
Correct.
Oh.
You probably picked one skill from a package if you followed standard character creation.
Right.
Because if you follow standard character creation, you do get to add 1 skill point from one of these Travelers packages.
Yeah, essentially, if you make characters in person, you do a round robin.
I used a program that was made specifically for Mongoose Traveler.
Right.
Right. But without knowing how I would imagine if it followed the rules, it would have you as the last step choose a skill from the Traveler's skill pack.
The two that I've used RPG Suite, and I've used I did some testing with Demiplane. They both follow the rules. So, but this is a house rule. Mostly this is to fix some of the holes that we've run into where people are just completely, inept with skills. So you can pick one of these packages and take the entire skill. All of the skills in the package.
Okay. All right.
Essentially a chance to give you the opportunity to get some skills that are going to be good for the party.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, if you're mainly focusing on being a broker, you might skip the trader skill package and take something like, I don't know, you might pick Starship skill package or mercenary skill package. You could pick anything else that you think would help the group that will fill in some of the blank spots.
Well, I've got most of what the Traveler's skill package has, with the exception of pilot. I definitely have the entire trader's skill package.
I was also going to say, Brian, I don't think we did this for Mintaka either.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, so you can pick one of these as well.
Are you definitely going with me to Costco tomorrow morning, or is it just a maybe?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Because otherwise I'd go tonight.
No, I'll go with you. Tomorrow.
Come on, Cinnamon, out of here.
So, well, I think probably the Starship skills package would probably be the best for me.
That's not a bad idea. What do you think, Brian?
That would give me. I'll look it up in the book and then transpose it over to my character.
Sure.
So that'll give me some level 1 skills in. I've already got electronics, computers, and electronics sensors.
Okay.
I think for my character,
I can do electronics
Power.
That would be excellent.
So
power and comms are the other two.
Electronic comms would be a good one for me. Do we have a comms guy?
I have expert level 2s in all the electronic skills, so I can, slot them.
Well, you take comms or power, and I'll take the other one. That way, we have just like it as a skill. If you're gonna take one anyway.
Okay, so I'll take.
I'm gonna
comms 1. I'll take
to kind of fit my character's backstory. I think I'll take the criminal skills package.
Sure.
Because I was like out there with the mercenaries and shit.
Yeah.
But I already have some of those mercenary stuffs.
This is mercenary.
Yeah, you are essentially you're basically corporate mercenaries. I believe in this case they would be considered security contractors.
Yeah, I think that's what we'd be called. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for bringing up the package. Here I go. I make a house rule and then forget all about it.
And remind me, does this take me to 0 or to 1 in that skill?
For which one?
1.
The package. It takes me to 1 or 0?
To 1. Yeah, all of those in the criminal package are at 1.
Cool, thanks.
I like how the criminal skills package has broker 1, because you have to negotiate those drugs.
That's the truth.
I'm not paying that much for cocaine. Come on.
Are you nuts?
And now I'm not a horrible gambler anymore.
Right, yeah.
Although that was going to be a fun little, I suck at gambling, but I didn't want to be the guy that holds the ship's money and also suck at gambling, because that's probably a bad time.
Yes.
That would be a very bad thing.
Yeah, that would be not good.
I only gamble with my own money, not the ship's.
You have self-control.
Until I'm at 0 credits, and then...
Right. There was a thing that I saw the other day where the question was, for people that work in Las Vegas in the casinos, what's the worst behavior that you ever saw? And this guy was I think he was at the poker tables dealer, and he said he saw this guy come up and lose $35,000, and he was down to his last $25 in his pocket, pulled it out, bet it, and then he watched him over the course of the next 3 hours rebuild that $35,000 pile. And then when he was up at $35,000, he then proceeded to lose it all again in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Of course.
So the dude lost a total of $70,000 in the course of like a night.
I read r/problem gambling on Reddit all the time. It just for some reason fascinates me. I don't know why. But everybody's doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so
just for curious, just so I know for my electronics, did you take comms or power?
I took comms.
Cool, thanks. That's all I needed. Awesome. Let's go.
all right. So
Okay.
yeah, so you can get a week's worth of study in whatever it is that you are training on. And then, of course, at the end of 8 weeks, you would get either 0 or it takes 8 weeks of study to get to 1. It takes 2 8-week study periods to get to 2, 3 8-week study periods to get to 3, etc. So, yeah, you get a week of study. And you come out in Bantral system. Pretty much very similar to the Berengaria, to be quite honest. The benefit of Bantral is that it is an Imperial client state. So even though it is out in the Outrim Void, let me so I keep track of where we're at here. It is an Imperial client state. It is, you know, all run. It has a scout service base, or a small scout service base. Basically, this scout service base mostly supports recon missions into the Outrim Void, and it maintains some communications links with some of the more distant worlds. They have some Jump 5 couriers that occasionally jump from Bantral to Kid, and a couple of other local areas. Marcus, you would know that there is a major trade delegation currently in Bantral's Highport. You would find this in the local library data that is coming up. It is called the Berengaria Technum. They are mostly, they take the form of agricultural import-export, and they exchange it for higher tech goods at a rate that is usually very favorable to Imperial traders.
Okay.
World is fairly pleasant. It's got a dense atmosphere. Is known for heavy rainfall on a frequent basis. The population numbers in 500,000 or so, mostly clustered into the region around the starport. The remainder of the planetary surface is largely undeveloped. Let's see here. Once again, it does not look. Yeah, they don't have a high port, but this is planetary data on Bantral.
Oh wow, a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Yep, there is some agricultural stuff, some industry, and it's all right there around the starport.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Engineering-wise on the ship, what kind of engineer do we need? A jump power plant or our M drive?
I think so far Gully is doubling pilot and jump drive, which works.
I'll be a jump drive then.
Oh, you mean for repairs or just standard operation?
Yeah, repairs.
Okay. Yeah.
And operation. I could be either one.
Right.
Since I'm acting as a sensor pilot, I'm only needed coming into port or going out of port.
True.
Facing missiles.
Right.
Yes, yes, and when missiles are launched at us, yes. But don't worry, if you don't make the sensor check, you won't know that the missiles are coming at you, so it's technically not really your fault.
That's true. That is very, very true.
You don't see them, it didn't happen. So, yeah, go ahead and give me a piloting plus dex check.
Yeah.
That's also one of the reasons why I'm not a good pilot. It's got kind of minus on my dex.
Right. So yeah, you get clearance to land at the starport. This is tech level 9 planet. It's tech level 9 planet. Law level is 9 though. Yeesh. That's up there.
Does that mean no armor?
No armor, no weapons, no nothing.
Yeah, tech
You
level.
can get busted.
All weapons are banned and all armor is banned. Even stunners.
You can get busted for carrying a stick.
Right?
No chewing gum.
No chewing gum. Make sure that the toilet paper is properly hung on the roll in the correct direction. You know.
You're basically in New York.
Yes.
In Brooklyn.
You're not even allowed to have a spring-loaded dart gun with a suction cup on the end of it. It is a rather draconian law level, and the government, which is what I was just going to look at, government's kind of important as well.
Yeah, what does my computer tell me about this place?
It is saying library data says.
That bureaucratic civil bureaucracy or something?
Yeah, or feudal technocracy.
Is that what that says?
Yeah, ruling functions are performed by specific individuals or persons who agree to be ruled by them.
I'm staying on board the ship. I'm not going anywhere.
Right. So
that means that tech level 9's not widely shared.
Right.
Very true. Yeah. I'm staying on board.
As Gully is bringing Void Skipper down into the berth at the port, you are receiving a communication request.
Okay. If I'm on comms, I'll answer it.
So the request is from the office of Factor Ulaine Devereaux, a representative of the Berengaria Technum and the self-appointed Imperial Ambassador to the world of Bantral. They're inviting you to meet with them at his palatial residence on planet.
I like self-appointed. That sounds fun.
Right?
Wrong boss is time.
I've got maintenance to do on the jump drive, so
I don't know.
I've got to stay on board.
Okay. So yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna say that story and stay to it. Stick to it.
You guys have an invitation to meet with the self-appointed Imperial Ambassador and representative of the Berengaria Technum.
I wonder what he wants.
I would like to research that name in our database.
Sure.
I've got a Tech 15 database, so yeah, I can look up anything.
It says.
Do they have a TechNet?
They do have a data net.
Okay, so I'm going to plug into the data net and see what I can find.
Be very careful.
Right? Yes.
Without law level, I can guarantee you every single website's government approved.
Right.
I've got a Tech 15 computer with an with a scrub drive.
I'm just saying that
at law level 9, they don't have OnlyFans, but they do have only bots.
Yeah.
I'm
just.
I mean, if you're trying to hack in to find other stuff, you might want to defer to one of the computer guys, because we both have Tech level 15, but we also have all the other stuff.
I'm not hacking. I'm just reading what's out there.
So you find basically information more or less about what this Berengaria Technum is. There's not really a whole lot that is not known. It says they were close rivals with McClellan merchant factors. In fact, there were confrontations a couple of times between the two corporations that kind of led to a trade war that included corporate-backed mercenaries that were literally trying to fight for control over what they deemed critical assets at the time.
I wonder what this guy wants.
Well, that's why we're going to meet with him to find out.
So yeah, you have an invitation.
Yeah, we're on somebody else's clock right now. So we should be careful about because we kind of screwed up the customs boarding.
What is our boss
by involving Eric? And
so that's a good question.
So I mean, we got to consider that we're on his time right now.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus, your question is
what does our boss want us to do?
So yeah, you could ask him. So Eric tells you that he's a little surprised, but he tells you that again. He reiterates that the Berengaria Technum was a close rival when he worked for McClellan Merchant Factors, and he says he doesn't really expect there to be trouble, but he recommends caution when dealing with this representative. He agrees. He agrees with Salve. It's a little weird that this guy is the self-appointed Imperial Ambassador. He's not quite sure what that means. And he tells you guys, might as well go see what this guy has to say. Maybe he has some information that can be negotiated out of him about where the Amwar may have gone.
Okay, I'll go because like I said, I've got streetwise and broker and advocate, so yeah, that might be needed.
So,
all right, well, let's get going.
So as soon as you get out of the ship and make your way through the concourse, you are met.
I want to make sure. I'm going to make sure we all have our own identifications and our papers.
Oh yeah, that would all be kept on your mobile comms. And this is something else that I'm assuming that you have at the very least you have a mobile comm and probably a comm dot, and maybe even a smartwatch. And I'm not going to take it out. I'm not going to make you purchase it because who doesn't have those things, right?
I've got implants.
Even better. So
I've got the Tech 14 implants with the wafer jacks.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys, as soon as you make your way to the end of the concourse, you see that there is a limousine that is sitting there, and there is a guy outside that is holding up, the typical board. And written on the board, it says Eric Reidd-Valaasii and crew. So they know that Eric was aboard Void Skipper even before he made Planetfall.
Oh, lovely.
And so you get into this limousine.
Is he with us?
Perfect.
Yes.
Go wave.
Yeah, he's going with you.
Wave, climb in.
And so you get into this limousine. There is, champagne. It's a pleasant ride, and they pull in outside of this, as stated, palatial residence. I mean, this is a huge mansion with, manicured lawns and fountains, the whole bit. And you are ushered inside, and this guy kind of, I'm trying to think of it. He's got a goatee that is kind of long and curly. He wears his hair long, and it's quite curly and like wavy. But it's down to his shoulders, and he's wearing a suit, no tie. The top two buttons of his shirt are unbuttoned, in fact, and he's got a gold rope necklace on. And this guy comes up and welcome to my residence. My name is Factor Ulaine Devereaux. Welcome to Bantral. I am the Imperial Ambassador for the Imperium from the Berengaria Technum. And he comes around, wants to shake all of your hands. But looking at this guy, you're like, he's greasy. Like, he looks like he might be a little sweaty.
You have a beautiful planet.
He says, "Oh yeah, it is quite nice here." He says, "Come on, let me show you around." He kind of gives you a brief tour. The place is enormous. I mean, he has a living room that's the size of a basketball stadium. And he leads you in to an area where you can kind of just lounge around, and he's got servants that are bringing out drinks and canapes and various hors d'oeuvres. And he doesn't seem particularly hostile to you, but I will allow everybody to make a recon plus social check.
How about streetwise?
In this case, I would allow streetwise.
Okay. I got a 9.
Okay, so Mintaka failed, Rima failed, Salve got it, Gully got it, and Marcus got it. So this guy doesn't really, like I said, he doesn't seem hostile, but in listening to some of the talk between Eric and Factor Elaine, it seems like, to you guys, it seems like polite corporate speak that is generally used to try and draw out specific responses to get information that he may not already have.
They're speaking my language.
Well, yeah. So I guess, and Eric so far has basically been fairly neutral in his conversation with Elaine, but Factor Elaine Devereaux is really quite interested. He wants to know why you're making the trip out into the Outrim Void. How are you guys going to answer that? Are you going to be forthcoming with why you're doing this, or are you keeping your
I'm waiting for our boss. If he's asking us and our boss is standing there, I'm going to let our boss answer him. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
We've been hired to do asset recovery, and so
yes,
corporations lose assets, they send people out to recover them. It's a bureaucratic nightmare. We go missing, another team will get sent to find us. So we're just hoping to find the asset that we've been sent to look for and retrieve it and leave as quickly as possible.
And so Eric Eric seems, the look on his face seems like, yeah, that's a good answer without giving away too much information. Remo, give me your choice between diplomat or persuade plus social check. Either one. Or if you can think of another skill that might.
That works. It's really not deception.
Right, you're not deceiving him. So that's pretty good. And so Factor Elaine, he says, so coming out into the Outrim Void, and he kind of strokes his beard. He goes, you wouldn't by chance be searching for the lost Amwar, the Leviathan class, would you?
If that's a ship that's gone missing, that would be the type of mission that we would receive.
And he kind of chuckles at that, and he says, you play this game very well. He says, here's what I can tell you that I know. He says, the Amwar came through Bantral on her final mission, but she did not return this way. he says that doesn't mean that she did not take a different route, of course. But given her capabilities, the next destination would have been either Senlis, Orsoc, or Vior. And as soon as he says those locations, Eric kind of just, he doesn't say anything. Like, he gets a complete poker face and doesn't say anything. Factory Lane goes on. He says, Amor gave her crew shore leave here at Bantral, and some of them got themselves into trouble with portside security. Some of the comments that I overheard in the portside bars is that Amor was not a happy ship, and her captain was deeply unpopular with the crew.
And
by the way,
do we know for sure that it's a jump 3?
You mean the Amor being
Leviathan class?
Yeah,
right.
It is. This would be everything that you would know. Yeah,
J3.
Yeah, she's got J3 with a J2 backup.
Right. So he was just, when he was listing systems, it sounded like he was listing everything 3 or lower. So that's why I was checking, because like Braudel would have been jump 4, for example.
So.
By the way, I'm also because of my implants, I'm recording everything that's being said.
Sure. Yeah, we've done that before.
Video
Eric,
and audio.
For the first time, Eric kind of drops his poker face a bit because he has also stated that, I mean, messages that he got from, or letters that he got from his nephew aboard Amor stated that the crew was unhappy with the captain, and Eric asks Devereaux directly. He says, could you possibly find a file on a particular crew member? And Eric says, I'm looking for my nephew who was stationed aboard Amor. And Devereaux says, just a moment. And he gets up and he steps into another room. He's gone for maybe 20 minutes. And he comes back out and he has a electronic data pad that he hands you. There's not really a whole lot on it. It states that the nephew was a junior steward for McClellan Factor's ship. He came ashore. He had some leave. He did not get into trouble like the others, and returned to ship. Beyond that, Devereaux says he doesn't know much more, but this is the most information that he's got on that individual.
What was the trouble that the crew members got in?
They got into some bar fights in some of the starport dive bars.
Yeah, drunk and disorderly.
Yep, drunk and disorderly. Exactly. They were essentially so irritated and pissed off with their captain that when they came planet side, they went in and drank their troubles away and got into a series of bar fights.
Nothing too crazy for people on the ship.
Yeah, not entirely unheard of.
Yeah.
In our list of documents, we've got the last log of the Amor. Do we actually have that?
No, you don't. You have the last log that you have. Excuse me. So the last log that you have would have been made just prior to when it would have left Pax Roulette.
Okay.
If you were to find logs of the Amor, that would be considered a major bonus in pay for you, paid by McClellan Merchant Factors.
I meant in our list of documents that we've got in the sidebar there. The last log of the Amor is there, and I don't think we have that.
No, you do not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the dinner kind of goes fairly, unexpectedly well. I mean, as soon as he gives this information up, it doesn't seem like he has really asked for anything in return.
What's the time window? When did it go missing? How long has it been?
So it went missing towards the end of 1102. It is currently mid 1106. So it's been a couple years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since Amor went missing. Everybody. Let me look at it. This is one of those rare cases where I need to look at a character sheet.
Is anybody armed here?
No.
Probably not
I mean,
for the meeting.
No.
Since
Just making sure.
You got a Diplo vest on. That's it.
Yeah, you guys. Anybody who wants to, can make a. Actually, all of you can go ahead and make a deception plus social check. And not that you're being purposely deceptive, but I'm going to use that as a gauge.
You said social?
Correct. Wow. Okay. So that's pretty good. Mintaka lets a couple of things slip. Little pieces of information.
Mintaka ain't saying shit. Mintaka's keeping quiet because he knows he's stupid like that. Mintaka is not talking. I know I'm not social, so I'm like,
Free champagne, got you.
I lean over and whisper in Natako's ear, "You know, I have duct tape on me."
So, yeah, he lets all this information kind of go, and everybody has been fairly tight-lipped, but over the course of dinner conversation, there are little tiny tidbits of information that kind of are slipped through. Nothing really major. But this Devereaux seems that he's happy to have you guys as guests. He's happy to give you this information, and at the end of the night, as he tells you that his car will see you back to your ship. He tells you that that he'd be, he's happy to have had you here. His car will take you back to your ship, and he seems genuine when he says that he really hopes that you find the ship that you're looking for. In the limousine on the way back to Void Skipper, Eric basically tells you that he doesn't necessarily believe everything that Devereaux told you. And as soon as we get back to the ship, he wants you guys to basically look up information and corroborate what this guy said.
Was the ship that's gone missing capable of entering atmosphere, or was it one of the types that...
No. In fact, okay. Leviathan, if it's like a really dense atmosphere, it may have a chance, but for the most part, no, which is why it has auxiliary craft.
Okay. So if it had landed on any of these, on this planet, it'd be very difficult to hide it.
Right. Oh, yeah, so, you would have detected it from orbit.
How many tons is this ship we're looking for?
1,800.
1,800.
Yeah, it's big.
Oh, okay. When you said Leviathan, you meant Leviathan. Okay.
Yeah, Leviathan is kind of the...
Yeah, here's the specs on a Leviathan merchant cruiser.
It's a 2,000. It's classified as a 2,000-ton ship.
Because we could do a few orbits and just scan the surface of the planet, look for wreckage. Something this big crash landed on the planet.
This is something that you would see that from orbit.
Oh yeah,
right.
It's gonna make a big hole.
Yeah, so I mean, we might consider scanning for it a bit before we decide to jump in any direction.
Sure. Okay, so
I'm going to go back through the news services and see if there was any reports, anything in the archives of the news services when the ship was here last.
excellent idea. Go ahead and give me an investigate plus intellect check, and you can make that with a +2.
All right. Okay, that's not a bad roll. It's a 10.
Nice. So, yeah, you do corroborate that piece of information. There are numerous news sources that report that the crew from the Amwar came aboard, and they politely state it as the crew were not well behaved in port. And though each of the news services plainly state that they didn't think that it was that they weren't extravagantly badly behaved, but badly behaved enough that some of them had to sleep it off overnight in the brig.
So it was noted in the news service that they had been detained and then released to the ship the next day.
Yes,
that's correct. A pretty big. Okay. It's a pretty big crew, so, I would imagine. So, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they have quite a few.
Well, even if they have a huge crew, all it would take is like 3 or 4 people do something, and all of a sudden the ship is painted with the same brush.
Right. Yeah, it's got captain, 3 pilots, astrogator, 13 engineers, 2 maintenance, 2 medics, 10 gunners, a steward, administrator, and an officer. So, yeah, I mean...
Plus the stewards.
And that's just the standard crew. Stuff. I mean, they may have been carrying more crew than that, but standard crew, like, you already know that they had 2 stewards because his nephew was considered a junior steward. So he had to answer to somebody.
Did anybody miss ship's movement?
No, but that's a good question, too. You can go ahead.
I'll do a data dive.
You can go ahead.
I can.
Whoever wants to do a look for that, you can make an investigate plus intellect check with a +2.
I'm probably the best for that.
I've got a 4 to begin with, so I'd be rolling a +6 on that.
Okay, go for it. You're better than me.
But I mean, it sounds like somebody's already rolling, so we're good.
You said anybody.
Yeah, anybody. So, let me shrink this one down. Okay.
Yeah, you both beat me, so yeah.
So, Gully and Salve, you do a search. You do find that way back at the end of 1102, that the Amwar listed their jump destination from Bantral as Vior, and I can show you. Think.
Out of nowhere.
Wow.
Nope, they're jumping to another subsector. They're jumping to Egrin subsector. They would here as Vior, so it's right on the border between Paxrulin and
yeah, but it's a jump 2 or it's jump 3 to any close planet.
True.
No, Berengaria is 2.
Well, yeah, but they're not going backwards.
Right.
So yeah, they listed their jump plan as jumping to Vior from Bantral, and you are correct. It would be, looks like 1, 2. Yep, it would be full J3.
It would be a minimum of J3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
but we've got
ship
the fuel
can do.
For that, right?
Your ship can do.
And there's a gas giant there, so we don't have to worry about fuel.
Right. Your ship can do 2 jump 2s.
Okay.
With its current capability.
It's a lot of space to get lost in.
Right? Yes.
Sure is.
So yeah, I mean, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm having a issue with Roll20. There we go. Laggy tonight. I guess. Did you want to? There we go. Is that the route you wanted to take? Is head to Vior, or did you have some other plan in mind? As far as where you guys want to jump to, it's Eric's leaving it up to you.
Yeah. Do we want to confirm that they're not in this system before we leave?
Yeah,
They're not in the
let's
system. They left.
due diligence here.
Okay.
Do we?
I'm fairly certain they left.
They were visually seen to jump. Is that
the news cycle? Basically states that the crew members got into trouble. They were released the next day to the custody of the captain of Amor, and then essentially that they weren't seen again. But
the Amor was seen to jump from.
That's the implication. It isn't stated that way specifically.
That was the route that was filed with.
What about traffic control?
Yeah, Star Traffic Control posted that their jump plan was for VR.
Well, yeah. Okay. The only reason I'm asking, it's a Starport B, so it is fairly high tech, right? So
yeah.
So they would have a record of the jump.
Yeah. So Amor, you know that Amor did jump from Bantral.
All right.
And schedule VR. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So since we don't have any other evidence, VR is our best, option.
Okay.
Agreed.
Whoever would, well, first of all, Gully, go ahead and give me a piloting plus Dex.
Certainly. All right, they're back on me.
I guess I should ask, is there anything else that you would like to do on Bantral? I mean, it's habitable world, shirt sleeve environment,
I want to get away from these guys, kind of.
Now let's go to
in my opinion, this particular planet is a really great one to leave.
Probably, yeah. I mean, even though it is an Imperial protectorate. Excellent. While he is making way for the 100D limit, who wants to make an astrogation check?
11.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Who wants to
make a sensor check?
Sure, you can make a sensor check. Are you? I mean, there's a number of Imperial.
It's a 12.
Ships. Yeah, there's a number of Imperial ships around you. If you're specifically kind of looking back at Bantral, you don't see any sign of crash or wreckage or anything like that.
Actually, what I'm looking for is any particular signs of pirates.
Oh no. No. In fact,
we're in the process of leaving the system, so
yeah, Bantral would be a bad place for pirates to want to camp out. I mean, I've seen them do it in worse places, but
right.
So,
but I'm still watching for them.
Who wants to give me an engineering power plus intellect or education?
My power is +2. Does anybody have better than that?
J drive or
power.
I'm on sensors.
So the reason why I'm having
power is +2. Does anybody have better?
I technically have a 3. I could do it.
If you guys are hearing a high-pitched whine, I apologize.
We are.
Yeah.
That's my wife's vacuum cleaner.
Wow. So, okay. So whoever wants to make engineering J drive plus intellect or education, you get a +2. Nice. All right. So you are once again in jump. You can add another week to study period.
Cool.
And I think this is a good spot for us to break for tonight. We'll pick up with you coming into Vior next week, and you can continue your investigations there.
Great. Thanks.
Right,
Thanks
cool.
so much.
You're very welcome. I will see you guys next week.
Everybody.
Take care, all.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Next week, guys. Good night, go.